Good evening, everybody.
Welcome to Tuesday Mayhem. I hope you guys are having a great week.
Go. All right.
It's been a little bit stressful of a week, I gotta say.
It seems like they've all been a little stressful.
Yeah, a little bit lately.
Yeah, been a little stressful. How about you guys?
So I hope that your week is less stressful than my week has been.
All right. Hey, you guys were here last week. Check out the video quality this week. It's been upgraded.
Yeah, tell me, do you see a difference?
It's been upgraded, guys. I'm going to tell you.
Oh, this is from Cheryl. She said, hello, my favorite folks. Guess who will be cruising with you in 2025? Cheryl, are you coming on our group cruise? Because that would make me so very happy.
It's awesome.
Please tell me you are.
Hey, I got it's a Cam Link card, right? So the reason I couldn't broadcast in 1080 last week was because the interface I was using a USB to USB-C cable connection would not transfer at that high rate. So I did some research and I bought this. It's actually called a card. It's like a video card, a media card, and it's called the Easy Cap Cam Link 4K.
Oh yeah, that looks like fancy.
And I was able to, and I bought a special cable. It's an HDMI cable with an HDMI mini.
I mean, look at, you can
cable.
literally see, like, my hair looked a little frizzy right there.
Yeah. So
like, wow.
I just got it. I pulled this thing off the porch just like half hour ago.
And you can see the definition in your beard, like dark gray, gray.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, and it's made a big difference, and we're getting a full camera view versus what we had last week. Now, last week our video quality was much better. And for you guys that haven't been here or weren't here last week, we picked up a Nikon Z30 camera, and it's the first Nikon camera that has a flip screen, so you can use it. It's made for vlogging. That's what it's made for. So it's a mirrorless camera. It's very similar to this Sony ZV-1, which I got rid of because I didn't like the autofocus on the ZV-1.
I mean, I can see the difference in the picture quality. I
didn't like the fact on the Sony ZV-1, it didn't have interchangeable lenses. So this camera, I decided, hey, we're going to use it as webcam, and it's going to help our live stream quality go up. We were using this prior, a Logitech HD camera, and the problem with it is the actual lens is tiny. All right, it's bigger than the lens on your laptops, but it still wasn't getting enough light in. So, you know, I'm spending all this time messing with lighting and trying to have decent background lighting, all this stuff, and the entire time it was just the camera. So,
yeah.
Anyways, that's what we're doing now. We got that, and we're going to be using that on our. That's going to be our regular go-to vlogging camera moving forward when we go on the Spirit.
So you're going to be able to see all the like nooks and crannies, and we're happy for you.
So you're going to you'll be able to appreciate how old we really are.
Yes. So let's say hi to Mama Millie. That is my mom. So everybody say hi to Mama Millie.
Mama Millie.
And we got Alice, the better looking Lugo. Although Eddie is adorable, Alice, but you are still better looking. And then we got my good friend Cheryl from Cruising is Fun Anytime. Who else do we have here? We got Eddie from Huddle Adventures. What are you drinking, baby?
Miller Lite.
You're having a cocktail with me. Yay. That's awesome.
I've been really good. Been back on the diet program. This is day.
We got KDP in here.
3 days of eating good.
JNS Adventures. Hey, Jeremy. We got Taylor Renko. We got Carson Huddleston. We got William, GB Fat Cat. We got Paytune. We got Josh and Julie and Monica from Mama's Adventures. Tony G, 1975. Hello. Mike from Clock Family Adventures. My buddy Mike. Let's see who else we got here. I think that's pretty much it.
You got them all.
That's everybody. So anyway, hope you guys are having a really good week so far. I'm really excited about our topic tonight because it sounds like really elementary, like how to book a cruise.
Well, plan.
I mean, how to plan it.
I keep saying that too.
Yeah.
And
we get so many questions. from coworkers, from Facebook friends. I get constant messages from people.
YouTube.
YouTube asking for advice on, I haven't never cruised before. Like, what do I need to consider? How do I do this?
Yeah, it's kind of weird how YouTube works too, because like now we've been on for almost a year and a half. We have some older content, and it's cruise vlog content, from all the different ships we've been on. So, I wake up in the morning and I'll go through the comments, first thing in the morning and read through them. And it's really funny because I'll get questions from cruises we went on, 16 months ago, and I have to sit there and go, wait a minute, and try to remember to answer their questions and stuff. But a lot of people that watch cruise vlogs, they're researching.
Yes.
And I know before I went on my first cruise, wasn't Laura's first cruise, but it was my first cruise. I did the same thing. And that's when I found Don's Family Vacations. He was the first cruise vlogger I ever watched. And then, from there, I started watching a bunch of them because I wanted to make sure. I'm like, man, this is a lot of money. And Laura's like, it's been a while since I did a cruise, and we didn't really know where to start. So we just went right to the Royal Caribbean app and then started looking. And so we thought we would break down how we do it, because I
had a bunch of coworkers, send me messages and said, hey, listen, if you would I'm not like into cruise vlogs and all that. So if you just like one of your lives, will you like put on there, like, what's the criteria? What do I need to do? And that's the purpose of tonight.
Yeah. And like we were saying, we get a lot of people asking us, where should they start? What should they do? And so now we don't want to confuse this with the booking process, because the booking process, and this is the way we look at it. We believe,
hi, ocean to ocean.
We believe you should do your background, your research,
yes,
and have an idea of when, where, how long, which cruise line you're considering, and have those type of things in mind before you contact a travel agent. Because if you contact a travel agent and you're not sure of these things, you're going to put your vacation, they're going to be, making suggestions to you, but they don't know your life, your lifestyle, what you have in mind, the best time to go on a cruise. Now, I'm going to start this off by doing the when.
Yes.
Okay, we got this broken down into 6 categories,
and
6 steps.
And when you hear the 6 steps, your 6 steps might be in a different order.
Well, and ours are.
Yeah.
We're going to cover that too.
Yeah, but for brand new cruisers, we kind of felt like this was the best order to put the 6 steps in.
Yeah, so you want to go on a cruise, and I call you guys the cruise curious. You out there that have not been on a cruise.
Hi, Paul. Paul said, howdy, cousin Eddie.
Hey,
and Laura.
buddy. Paul. And so this is for the people that are cruise curious, and they want to get an idea how this will work.
Yeah.
So first of all, first thing we recommend is you determine what time of the year you want to do your cruise, when you want to do the cruise. Now, a lot of people, they look at cruises and they go, this is going to be a pretty big, expensive vacation. And it is. I mean, it's more expensive than going like to Six Flags for the weekend, or a trip to Chicago for the weekend, or, going to Nashville for 3 days. This is going to be more expensive, right? So a lot of people are going to pick like anniversaries.
Yeah.
Honeymoons. Honeymoons are really popular for cruises. Anniversaries are popular for cruises. Birthdays, I don't know how many people tell us, I'm thinking about having an anniversary cruise in 2 years.
Spring break, girls trips, boys
birthdays.
trips. Yeah.
Birthdays are really big. You got your what do you call like your iconic birthdays? Your 30th birthday, 40th birthday, 50th birthday, 75th birthday, all those different birthdays. And so you want to determine what time of year you want to cruise. Now, a lot of people, they're always concerned about hurricane season. And he said, when's hurricane season? Hurricane season is almost all the time, guys. It's like from June until like November. And you're going to be cruising during hurricane season if you're going to start cruising. You just have to take comfort in the fact, we've covered this in the last couple lives, we got into this. They have a tremendous weather station that tracks all the hurricanes and major storm fronts, and the ships have the technology and power to get around these storms. So that's really not a really critical thing, But it is good to look and see, like during hurricane season, if a hurricane's heading towards your cruise port where you're planning to sail out of, that's going to be an issue because that'll stop you from cruising, and it could prevent you from getting back on time too.
I'm so excited.
What?
Cheryl said yes, January 2025. She
Awesome.
said kids and all.
Awesome.
We are so excited. You're going to be with us, and you're going to be with Arc Adventures and Mama's Adventures. And Mama's Adventures is bringing her daughter. Monica, what's your daughter's name? Will you put that in the chat? Or send me a message about it or whatever, because I want to know her name. I'm so excited.
That is awesome. So hey, when you pick your time a year when you want to go on a cruise,
yes,
you need to do that. The next thing you need to do, you need to determine how much you're willing to spend on this cruise.
Right. What's your budget?
Your budget.
Yeah.
You need to have a ballpark. Unless money's no object and you really don't care. Hey, it's going to be my 50th birthday. I don't care how much it is, whatever. I still think you should have some kind of budget in mind. And don't base it on, well, how do I make a budget? I don't know how much cruises cost. How much are you willing to spend? What is the max amount of money you're willing to spend on this vacation?
Paul said about $350.
Okay, I can take care of you, buddy.
Paul,
call me after.
Yes.
No, I'm joking. But
you know what? These are really good. July, August, September, October, November. Jason, that's funny because I have a brother named Jason, so I knew that. But July, August, September, October. Those are great months to cruise in.
Those are also hurricane months.
So Monica's daughter's Hannah. I won't forget that. I'm excited to meet her.
The thing too is when you're
Hi, Vince in disguise.
When you do, hey, Finny. When you do pick your time of year, we can warn you of a couple things. If you book your cruise when school is out in the summer, you're going to pay the highest price for your cruise during that time of year. You're also, if you're going to do a Christmas cruise, I forgot to mention that. A lot of people want to cruise.
Dina.
A lot of people want to
can't wait
cruise
to
on
see
holidays.
you.
And cruising around the holidays is going to be more expensive. Airfare is going to be more expensive. Yeah,
Mike, you're so silly. Funny.
Airfare is going to be more expensive around the holidays. Airfare might not be as bad during the summer, but spring break airfare is usually higher. Cruises might be a little more expensive over spring break. They're going to be more crowded over spring break. So if you are cruising and you're not with kids and you don't want to be around a bunch of kids, you do not book during the summer. And the other thing too, depending on what kind of cruise you go on, a lot of people worry it's going to be too hot.
Yeah.
And the Caribbean, where most people were going to cruise to, that's where the majority of the cruises go out of the United States. It's pretty stable down there. It's similar temperature pretty much year round.
Yeah, it really is.
It will get hot, but we're in a cruise ship, guys. You have a breeze.
The ocean, baby. You get breezes from that. Dana, drive safely, honey.
The wind is a factor out at sea. There's nothing blocking it, so you have a nice breeze even on the hottest days. You'll still get a breeze out there.
Monica, I totally agree with that. I love late August into September. It's just fantastic.
And then, all right, so you got your budget, and that's a good starting point.
Yeah.
Once you know what your budget is, at this point, you have to determine, okay, where you live and how far you're willing to drive, or are you going to be willing to fly to your cruise port, the cruise port you're going to sail out of. A lot of people, here's what happens. They start talking about this cruise, and they go on there, and they look, and there's like 780 cruises.
Yeah.
You know, to the Caribbean in 2023 or something. And they're looking at it, and they're overwhelmed. And they're looking at the ship, the cruise port, the destinations, the duration of the cruise, how long is the cruise, all that stuff. And it's so overwhelming.
It is overwhelming.
So by following these little tips we're sharing, it's going to streamline this and make it a little easier to do. All right. So you need to determine what cruise port will fit you the best. We recommend that you sail at a cruise port. If you never cruised before, pick a cruise port close to your home. Okay. Now, ideally, the most cruises are going to sail out of Port Canaveral and Miami, Florida. Those are the two biggest cruise ports in the United States. And most people will take their first cruise out of Florida. So if you're planning on Florida, are you within driving distance of Florida, or are you going to fly? Now, if you're going to fly to Florida, we strongly suggest that you start pricing airfare immediately.
Yes.
Before you go any further, see how much it's going to cost you to fly round trip to Florida. Fly in at least one day before.
Yes.
If it's wintertime and you're flying from the north, fly in 2 days before, just in case your first flight gets canceled or moved to the second day. You do not want to fly in the day of the cruise. You do not want to do that.
No, we used to do that.
We did it
Back
our
in the
first
day.
two. We
Yes.
did our first two.
And even before like all the airline delays and, issues with, airlines getting you there in a timely manner, it was too stressful for me. It was stressful.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then by the time you get on the ship, like by the time you get from on the plane to your destination, off the plane to the port, through the check-in, onto the cruise ship, check into your room, unpack. Like I lose that whole first day because I'm too tired.
well, you spend spend a lot of time at two airports. The airport you're flying out of, the airport you're flying into. Then you get to the airport, you get to the baggage carousel, then you have to get your transportation to the cruise ship. Now, the only good thing about flying in the day of, they run package deals where you can take their charter bus. You pay like $30, $40 a person, and Royal Caribbean and Carnival and Celebrity, they'll pick you up at the airport and take you to the cruise port, which is great. But it's still a lot of stress, and it's a lot. So we suggest flying in the day before, and maybe 2 days before if you can swing it, because that's even better, because it allows for things to go wrong, and you'll still be able to do your cruise. Now, the cruise port, you decide on that. If you're going to fly, make sure you can afford the airfare. Airfare is insane. I'm down right now, guys, because we are getting killed on airfare right now. We are absolutely getting murdered on airfare. We just booked
crazy
airfare for Seattle. It was $2,200 for round trip airfare
for 4 people,
for 4 of us,
but
to Seattle. We are looking at airfare to Miami for the family reunion group cruise, and right now that looks like that's going to be around $1,500 for 3 of us.
So yay!
And then we are debating on our next cruise after that, which is in June. So we sail May 2nd to Alaska, May 20th to the ABC Islands, and then June 23rd we are going on a 7-day cruise out of New Jersey. Now we're looking at flying to New Jersey. There's going to be 6 of us going to Jersey. It's $2,200 for 6 people to go to New Jersey, which is 600 miles away. So now we're talking about driving to New Jersey instead of doing that. But here's the issue. We have 6 people. So now we're going to have to take 2 vehicles. We're going to have to pay for 2 vehicles worth of gas. We're going to have to pay for parking for 2 vehicles at the cruise port for a week. So all this starts adding up. And then it's an 8-hour drive each way.
Yeah.
And we got all these people with us. So we're even talking about possibly renting a van, a big van, for all 6 of us, all of our luggage to fit.
Really?
And
wow, Josh got a round trip on Delta to New York City for $1,200 for 4 of us.
Yeah,
it's out of Little Rock.
Well,
that's a great deal.
We don't have that luxury, Josh. We don't have any major airports that are like close.
And
to
Monica,
us.
We are looking at renting a van that holds 8 to 10.
We actually are looking at one
15,
we're looking at one
because we have a lot of luggage.
We looking at one that does 15
people. So that is an option that we are considering.
The 15-person van only fits 2 full-size suitcases and 1 carry-on in the very back, but you got those rows of seats you can stack suitcases in. So that's what we're kind of looking at. But again,
we got time. We
have time to worry about that. But
we had 2 cruises before that one.
When we first started our channel, we were able to fly round trip to Miami for under $500 for the 2 of us. And we have paid as much as $2,000 to fly round trip to Miami.
Hi, Eric B. Good to see you,
buddy.
buddy.
Eric B. We did the celebration, inaugural U.S. sailing over Thanksgiving. And because of the time of year,
he really does, Paul.
We paid
really does.
A grand, a grand
listen
each to fly round trip to Miami.
I'm sorry. I apologize ahead of time, but I'm about to tell Paul the real deal on this, okay? He packs more shoes than I do.
No, not anymore.
He used to.
I did in the beginning. I have Vans. You guys, I've got a collection of Vans. I must have 10 pairs. And I used to try to take 4 or 5 pair of Vans. But I didn't take any extra suitcases. They were all in one suitcase. So I'd have to.
But he has like Vans that match literally pretty much every outfit that he owns.
Well, I don't have outfits.
He does. Well, I mean, that one that you did,
for the record,
that he does have outfits.
Okay. Anyways,
I'm in so much trouble that I just
No, you're
told y'all
not.
he has outfits.
they see what I wear. They go to the channel, man. Look at our vlogs.
Outfits.
I dress nice.
Outfits.
Oh, right here. These are again fresh, clean tees, guys. I have probably how many black ones I got?
Oh my God.
30?
32.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this. What is like, if you have like a shirt and you have like slacks or shorts or something, like at what point does it cross over into this is an outfit moment? Like I need your feedback on that.
I think if you pee sitting down, you wear outfits.
No, like if it's matchy.
I haven't heard a guy say an outfit yet.
Yes, outfits.
They have golf shirts. They
outfits.
But anyways, but yeah, okay, there's a link in our on our page for Fresh Clean Tees. I'm affiliated with them. That's how many tees I buy, guys. One of our most watched videos was a short vlog I did here a year ago, where because she was making fun of me because every time I'm on a video, He's have on
wearing an outfit.
I got a black T-shirt on, and she's like, they're gonna think you only have one T-shirt. But anyways, I buy them because I like them. They're priced good and they last forever. With that, now you're gonna pick your cruise port,
right?
You're gonna price your airfare. You're gonna make sure you can afford it,
right?
Because we have had cruises, guys, where it's never stopped us, but it's made us pause. We were like, holy, no way, man. I don't want to pay that much. And we always end up paying it.
Tony G has your back. He said that guys don't have outfits. We have mix and match.
That's right, man. What we try to do, we try to have shorts that match multiple shirts so you can mix and match them like he said.
That's an outfit.
So that's just clothing. Okay, all right. So you pick your cruise port. Now, if you are willing, if you're like us, you're in Michigan, and you basically got to fly everywhere, you would think that, oh, man, it's going to cost a fortune to fly to L.A. versus flying to New York, and it doesn't. It's all expensive.
Right.
It costs us a ton of money no matter where we're flying. So it doesn't matter to us. That doesn't even factor into us. It just we will go to any port we want because we're going to pay the same amount, and it's going to take us around the same amount of time to get there.
Very true.
Now, if you're doing the drive versus fly, which I've been breaking it down, which I normally don't ever do because I do an 18-hour drive without stopping to Miami. I'm not doing that ever, man. But I've weighed it out. You look at your how much fuel you're going to use, and parking, and all those different factors. How many times you're going to stop on the road to grab food? Are you going to do 1 or 2 meals on the road? You got to factor all that in, and then the hotel.
Yeah.
I say even if you drive in the day before in case something happens.
Yes.
Your car breaks down.
Yes.
Your car gets stolen at the rest stop. Who knows? Anything can happen, guys. You get a flat tire and find out you don't have a spare tire, or your spare tire is bad. Even on a new car. Some of these new cars don't even have spares in them.
Listen to our buddy Cheryl here. Hit the like button.
Oh,
but hey, can I insert another factor to consider about flying?
Yeah.
All right. So when you're thinking about driving versus flying, you got to consider, your time, right? Like the value of your time. Like how long of a drive is this for me? Am I really saving money by driving when I have to take an extra vacation day? Things of that nature. But for me, I have an issue with, how many stops are on the flight. Okay. So sometimes you can get like a cheaper flight, but you have 2 stops. And then with everything that's going on with the airlines, like layovers, like you may, depending on how long it is in between each one of your layovers, like you may or may not miss a flight. And then that becomes a whole nother issue. So for me, I only want to do nonstop flights. So again, how much money are you saving by flying versus, with all those factors?
And I want you guys to keep in mind too, when we're talking about when there's 4 and 6 of us, our kids are adults and they pay for their airfare. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel as comfortable saying, hey, let's everybody throw down $500 when it's my kids' money, right?
So Julie says, totally agree with the flying. It kills you. I remember someone giving us a hard time. That was us, Julie. And I'm sorry, about flying versus driving is tough, even when prices are better than they are now. Yeah. I mean, at some point, it's just like you got to factor. For us, like it's really a safety issue because we will have a caravan. Like we will have multiple vehicles If we drive to Jersey, we can't all fit in one vehicle because we have, we have one, two.
We have 6. There's 6 of
There's
us.
6 people, but 3 different staterooms booked on that cruise. So we can't fit, 6 people and 6 people's luggage in any one vehicle unless we get that van.
We don't have a vehicle that will fit 6
Yeah,
to
we
begin
don't.
with. And we
That
don't
makes it tough.
we don't own a vehicle like that because our kids are grown. We're not running around taking kids to baseball practice and stuff anymore.
And Josh is right. Fly, drive, ride a horse, just get to the cruise however you can.
Exactly.
Amen.
But
Amen.
but what Laura's talking about is true. If your time is valuable, which most people's time is, sometimes it makes sense. Like, for instance, we can fly to Jersey in 1 hour and 45 minutes. We can drive there in 8.5 hours. So for me, if it's just Laura and I, we're going to fly every single time. We paid $2,000 to fly to Miami, just the 2 of us, but that's our money.
Yeah.
But when we're spending our kids' money,
spending our kids' money.
Yeah, we try to be
because our kids are, for the most part, we have one 16-year-old. He will soon be 16, but the rest of our children are all well into their mid-20s and into their 30s. I'll let you digest that we're old enough for that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. But they all pay for their own cruises and so forth. So, when we're making a decision on flying versus driving, that's another factor.
All right.
We're spending their money.
So we got to that. Now that, and we were on that for a while, but it's an important thing to consider.
It is.
And I would tell some of you guys that always drive and you're like, I drive 12, 13 hours and it's great. Try flying once. If you've never flown to cruise, try flying in and see what you think of that.
See if you get a good deal and see if it's worth it to you.
Just try flying. See if the time savings is worth it to you. Because, like, for instance, we can be in Jersey on one plan. We'll get there at 3:30 in the afternoon. Driving, we're going to get there probably around 11 o'clock at night. So, that's the difference. So
Josh, I drank my Kool-Aid really fast.
Yeah. All right. So the next thing is your cruise destination. All right. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? So that's one of the things you need to decide on is where do you want to cruise to?
Yeah, we do too, Eric.
So that factors in too. For instance, obviously, if you want to cruise to Alaska, that means you're going to be sailing out of the West Coast somewhere.
Right.
You're either out of Seattle or San Francisco or someplace.
Or Vancouver.
Out of the country even. So you're going to be, that's gonna trump the cruise port closest to you or whatever else factor you're using. So that's what we're saying. These things can go in different orders too, depending on what your goals are. Okay, so the cruise destination, where would you like to go? Are you wanting to just go on a Bahama cruise? Are you wanting to go, Western Caribbean cruise like Mexico, Cozumel, Casamaya? Are you wanting to do Mexican Riviera? Are you wanting to go out to the West Coast? That's also when you're talking cruise ports. We like going to cruise ports to cities I've never been to. Laura's been everywhere. So I want to sail out of pretty much every state where there's a cruise port, because that's just a new place I haven't been for the most part. So anyways, your destination is going to have a factor in with the port as well, because you're not going to go to the Bahamas out of Long Beach, California. So you got to keep that in mind too. And then the duration of the cruise. So once you start narrowing these things down, it's going to make everything easier for you to decide. Now, you can do 2-day cruise, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-day cruise. A lot of people are going to tell you, if you're brand new, you should start with the 4-day cruise. I say no. I say do a 7-day. That's just my opinion. My first cruise was 4 days, and it wasn't enough because I was overwhelmed, just like so excited, and I felt like I had more time than I did. And next thing you know, we're getting off the ship. It just blew my mind how fast it went by. I suggest 7. A lot of experts are going to say do 4, do a 5-day.
Here's what I advise. Like, I get a lot of questions about this from friends and coworkers, and they always ask me, like, well, if I don't know if I really like cruising, what should I do? Here's what I always say. Now, it depends on who I'm talking to. If it's somebody that I know that can handle like some diehard partying, then I'll say, yeah, do like a 3 or a 4-day just to see if you even like cruising. Just do a short one, like to the Bahamas or whatever. But if I know it's someone that I feel like wouldn't really enjoy that environment, I would recommend a different cruise line for a shorter cruise for them. Like We did a
Yeah.
5-day on the Celebrity Millennium.
It was 4-day.
It was a 4-day. Yeah, you're right. A 4-day on the Celebrity Millennium. I would absolutely recommend that to a brand new cruiser that I know that probably would not appreciate the rock hard party atmosphere, because that gives you a true idea of what cruising really is.
And the reason it is because they're the least expensive cruises. So
Right.
if you do a 3 or 4-day cruise with Royal Caribbean or Carnival, and you pick one of their older ships where you're going to get the best deal,
That's cool, Josh.
the lowest price.
Oh, that's Amanda.
You
Sorry.
are likely going to have a lot of like college age kids partying on board and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
Carnival and Royal both.
So I kind of I understand, 'cause,
Carnival
like, if
more
you
so
have
than
to
Royal,
if you have
but-
to fly somewhere and you're making that investment on the flight, and it's, you know, it can be very pricey.
Or driving.
Yeah, I mean the travel itself, it can be expensive.
If I'm driving 12 hours each way or 10 hours each
Right.
way, I don't want to be there just for 4
days and then turn around and have to
Yeah,
get that whole
so-
thing home. So yeah, there's a couple
Now,
things to consider. with
us,
that.
when we do a short cruise, we are experienced. So we know that we have to approach a short cruise differently than we do a longer cruise, because we can't have any of
Mhm.
those like days where you kind of chill. You can't have too many chill days on a 4-day cruise, because you'll waste time and your cruise will be over before you know it.
So,
So-
I mean, Amanda makes a really good point. She said if the person is already nervous about it 4 or 5 days, and then take into consideration the person that you're talking to, you know, their personality, what you know of them, and then steer them towards the right cruise line for them. It may be, you know, maybe Carnival on a 4-day is not the best idea for them. Maybe Royal is, or maybe, you know,
I
Celebrity
also
is.
use the Sam's Club approach. More days, the better value you get too,
Mhm.
because it's not that much more for like a 7-day cruise than it is a 5-day cruise or a 6-day cruise. Sometimes a 7-day cruise will be less than a 6 or 5-day cruise.
Mike, you are so funny. Longer the
That's
better.
what she said.
Listen, that's what we
Okay.
say too, Mike.
So
That's what we say
duration,
too.
that's a personal thing, but like I said, I always recommend 7 days, because I hear all these, everybody, you hear stories, these people, they go on the latest, greatest, biggest ship for their first cruise, and you know, they're going to be on there 7 days for those, right?
Wow.
So, and some of them are overwhelmed, but they get off and they still say, I didn't see this, I didn't see that, I didn't see this, because they're
Hi,
inexperienced
Traveler
cruisers.
Bust. So, hey, listen, Tony got a solo deal on the Odyssey of the Seas in April 2024 to Aruba and Curacao, in a solo balcony for $1,200.
Yeah,
That's a deal, Tony.
that's a really good deal. All right, so now you narrowed it down. You narrowed it down to where you want to cruise to, where you want to cruise out of,
Right.
and how long you want to cruise. The next thing is, what type of cruise is this? Okay, are you doing a family cruise? Is it a couples cruise? Is it like your anniversary? Is it your honeymoon? Something like that. It's your wife's birthday. No kids are going. Are you solo? Those factors are gonna have an impact on which cruise line you should pick and which cruise ship type of cruise ship
Mhm.
you should pick.
Mhm.
That's how you determine that. You need to determine, like, if you're a family cruise, we, with clear conscience, we can only recommend 2 cruise lines for families,
Yes.
and do so with confidence.
Yes.
So your kids and your family are going to have a good time on these cruise lines.
Yes.
And that would be Carnival and
Mhm.
Royal.
Yes.
Carnival and Royal, that is their bread and butter. They are very similar in how they operate. You're not shocked when you go from Carnival to Royal or Royal to Carnival. It's
Right.
not that big of a difference, right? Those are the 2 we would recommend. Now, we've only been on 4 cruise lines. We've been on Celebrity, which we would not recommend for families, because they don't have the water slides and all the things, the attractions kids like.
But here
They have a arcade smaller than my utility closet in this basement. I'm
But
literally, it had 6 machines.
Here's the one wrench. I agree 100% with what you're saying, but the one wrench in the Carnival or the Royal would be, if you've already decided on the duration of your cruise, if you're wanting that short 3 or 4 day cruise for your family, I would recommend Royal over Carnival for that with the family.
I would,
really
but
would.
again, it's just going to depend on the ship. If you go on one of Royal's old ships that's small and it's a really inexpensive, it's going to be a party
the same
too.
thing, yeah.
Royal Carnival gets a lot of heat for
Mhm.
being the party cruise line. Royal has no limit on their drinks, man.
That is
I've
true.
seen people falling down drunk on Royal Caribbean cruises, passed out in
Yeah.
chairs. I've been on a 4-day Royal, and I've been on 3 7-day or 2 7-day Royal Cruise. But there's a lot of drinking that goes on Royal Caribbean too. So, but I will say you don't want to, if you're taking your family, I would suggest going on one of the latest, greatest cruise ships.
Yes,
with the most
ship.
amenities.
Yes, absolutely.
And you will have, it'll be the best time for your kids.
Yeah, so Cheryl's saying that she agrees about Royal Caribbean for kids, and they've been looking at their kids club, and that's really, really good. And Harmony is on point for kids. Absolutely agree.
Yeah. Well, Royal again, Cheryl, Royal and Carnival both do a great job with kids. We will tell you, NCL, not so much.
I will, G.
Celebrity, absolutely not. Those are not cruise lines that are as kid friendly as those other two are.
And then Amanda said that someone's first cruise should be the FRGC2 or the Howie Cruise group cruise or the Tropic Like It's Hot. If the kids kind of get into you, Tropic Like It's Hot.
We got and that's on Harmony of the Seas.
That is on Harmony of the Seas.
Anyways, so you want to decide what kind of cruise it is. If it's family, do that. If it's couples, we highly recommend doing Celebrity. If it's a couple cruise, Celebrity is really, really nice, guys. The food is outstanding. And it is it's awesome. Celebrity is an awesome cruise line for couples. Some people will recommend Virgin Voyages.
Never been there.
I can't recommend them because I've never been on a Virgin cruise, so I can't say, but it looks interesting. But
Tony G said that Allure will be doing 3 and 4 day cruises, and that's a good option for shorter cruises.
Yeah.
You think that's good for families or just for normal people that are looking for a shorter cruise for their first time? We'd be interested on your opinion on that.
So, and then so for couples, you got a lot of options out there. You can do. Laura and I sell, just the two of us, and we sell on Royal. We sell on Carnival. We sail on Celebrity.
It's good to see you. Hi.
You can do any of the above, but like I said, we think Celebrity is awesome if you don't have kids and you're wanting to do a cruise and have just exceptional food, just really great service and it's actually more fun than I ever thought it would be.
Oh yeah.
The people are a lot of fun. We met a lot of people on that cruise. It was great. But anyways, you have Holland America has really good stuff. So does Princess Cruise Line, Celebrity. Those are really good ones. Because when it's just the two of you, chances are your budget's going to be a little better. It's going to be easier for you to pull off one of these more expensive cruise lines.
So Tony said either really Oasis class could be a bit daunting for a first timer. I agree with that. I really do.
I will say this about the Oasis class ships. Like Joshua is wondering if it's going to be too big. It's not.
It's not.
Because the bigness of the ship, guys, is in the middle of the ship.
Promenade.
It's the promenade.
Yeah.
It is Central Park. It is Boardwalk.
Yeah.
The whole middle of the Oasis class ships is hollowed out.
Yeah.
So you have 2 real narrow sections on each side that has elevator banks and staterooms, and in the middle is open. So you have balconies that face the interior of the ship. So it's not like you have all these massive floors full of stuff, because above like the 5th floor and the 8th deck floor, the 5th and 8th deck, it's open. It's wide open. And there's this massive area.
Hi, Destination Fun.
It's just wide open.
So here's what I think Josh will find. And I think that, I think with the Oasis class ships, I think that they're big ships, of course, but it spreads everybody out so that you are comfortable wherever you choose to go.
There's tons of elevators.
Yeah, if you're here, if you're there, if you're over there, everybody is spread out.
It's because it's how they have the rooms. The rooms are all split on each side of the ship, and the middle of the ship is basically empty. So
listen, Mike Clark says, once you go Oasis, you never go back.
I think we've been on cruise ships.
Like you're getting ready to go on Wonder, like in what one day? Like when are you going on Wonder, Mike? I know it's very, very soon.
As far as like confusing ships, hard to get around. The Oasis ships are not. They're easy to navigate.
Yeah,
guys.
It's not confusing.
That NCL breakaway was way more confusing than and it's small. That's 145,000 gross tons, and they just designed it like they were drunk or something.
Sunday is Sail Away for Mike on the Wonder.
Awesome, Mike.
I can't wait to see that, Mike. I really cannot wait to see that. But see, Josh, it's a huge ship, but it's spread out. It's set up nicely, and it's spread out to where everybody can go and do what they want to do without big lines.
It's
unless
big.
you're in the buffet area.
It's big, but
like
I will tell you what. You take the XL class ships for Carnival, which are quite a bit smaller, but they don't have the large opening. They don't have these big voids on the celebration.
Yeah. So
Everything
Josh
in
said if he can
Celebration-
find food and gelato, he's good. And then Julie's going to be there with her expert advice.
So you
And she gave us excellent advice on where to go for breakfast, where to go for lunch. And I will tell you right now, Josh, I'm not sure if I know this about you or not yet, but if you like pizza, absolutely the best pizza at sea, my opinion, is Sorrento's.
But anyways,
The best.
it's not that hard to navigate. It's
Yeah.
laid out well. It's easy to understand, and it's not confusing at all. We spent forever trying to find my mom's studio room on the Breakaway.
I'm
Forever
embarrassed.
looking around for
I
it.
am embarrassed at how many times I got lost.
the Carnival and Carnival's new ships and Royal's Oasis class ships are both they're laid out well. They're not hard to navigate. So
we do
my
too.
advice to you guys
Sherry.
worried about the Oasis class ships, don't, because the size
It
is
is, Tony.
there's a lot of
It
openings.
is the best. I love that pizza. So good.
And we liked Oasis. We've been on Harmony,
Love
we've been
it.
on Oasis
Yes.
both, and we like them both.
Love it. Love it.
All right, so again, if you're doing family, our recommendation is either Carnival or Royal, and I would recommend doing one of the Royal Caribbean's latest ships, either Mardi Gras or Celebration, if you have little
Yes.
kids, and people that haven't been on Carnival in a long time. And if they go on an XL class ship for Carnival, they're going to be really surprised. They will be surprised. And then as far as couples, we already touched that. Solo, I would have said before we sailed with them, NCL hands down, because they have solo cabins, which is great. So you'll get a good rate. It's like 3/4 of the price of a double occupancy interior room on a normal cruise line, or I should say, excuse me, Carnival or Royal. So instead of say $2,400, it's going to be like $1,800.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So you will save money on it. The rooms are tiny. You can go check. We have on our channel, we have vlogs that show you the studio room, how small it is. So they're small. They're a little more affordable, and that is NCL. NCL has those. I'm not gonna badmouth NCL completely, guys, but I will not be going on NCL again. Probably never, because there's other cruise lines we haven't sailed with yet that I want to try before I give them a second
And frankly,
chance.
we don't know how long we're going to be alive.
Yeah, so and that's true. You really don't.
You really don't. There's so
You
many cruise lines and cruises that we haven't done yet. So we'll
know,
get to that when we get to that.
And we know what we like.
Yeah.
And when you're spending your money, it's like we know what to expect with Carnival. We know what to expect with Royal. We know what to expect with Celebrity now. So okay.
Ooh. So hey, Julie said that Icon had a release to the travel agents today for their bars and nightlife and some awesome stuff on that ship. Awesome. That is very, very exciting.
Now we have Icon booked, but I've already prepared myself mentally for
Yeah,
that being
I want to
canceled.
ask, what do you guys think? Do you think Icon is going to be ready on time?
I don't
I'm
think it will.
curious. Eddie doesn't think they will, but I'm curious what you guys think. If you think Icon will be ready,
And I'm going to tell you
roll.
why. I don't think they're going to make the timing, because this is the first Icon class ship, and there is a lot of unique physical challenges with this ship.
yeah.
Physical science challenges with the ship.
Julie thinks it will be ready.
They're
We'll
going
see
to
what
have
else.
they're going to have so much water weight on this ship, with the largest water park ever on a cruise ship.
True. Yeah.
It's like, I think it's like 5 or 6 times bigger than anything else out there. That's a lot of weight. There's a lot of moving parts, and
Man, I hope it is.
I will be surprised if they make it.
I'll be bummed.
I really
if it doesn't.
will.
I really
And
am
we
excited
still
about
have
that.
some supply chain issues out there and stuff. And building anything, when you're building a first of anything, trust me, guys. I work for a Fortune 500 manufacturing company, and I've seen this. And it's if this was the second Icon ship coming out, I'd be like, yeah, they'll make it for sure, because you learn all your mistakes, all your design mistakes, your engineering mistakes. come out during production.
So Mike
And-
says that he thinks that it will so far. Everything's on time, and he thinks that they gave it extra time before the first sailing. And my fingers are crossed, Mike.
Well,
I so hope you're right.
They
on
have
that.
to do, they got to do a lot of test sailings. There's a lot to it. There's a lot
I'm
to
hoping that they built
Just keep
time
them-
in for.
We are 10 months out.
Yeah.
They have 10 months. So the clock's ticking.
God, I hope so.
So we'll see. I'm not trying to be negative, but we already hit it. The Jubilee is the third XL class ship, and they're missing their timing coming out.
Yeah.
So we'll see
So
what happens.
I'm really hopeful.
And it's not, and guys, this isn't a Carnival Royal whatever thing. There's shipbuilding companies out there that build the ships for everybody.
So
It's like the
Tony
same
said to
couple
Julie
companies.
that he heard that the promenade will open to the outside. Listen, Tony G, if that is true, that is going to be huge for me. The only complaint that I have about a lot of the Royal Caribbean ships is that the promenade area, I get
that's the Oasis class.
Well,
ship.
yeah, the Oasis, but I get tied up in it because there's so much there that I don't get to see the ocean enough, and I don't feel like I'm on a cruise.
You see the ocean from Boardwalk.
Yeah,
you kind of do.
You kind of do.
You see the.
But I'm used to like seeing it out every window.
No,
you know.
It's
So, oh my God, what a game changer that would be.
My biggest complaint about Royal Caribbean Oasis class ships is that promenade. I also don't like the fact how they do like their parties and events and stuff in the promenade, and they put those guys up on top of that platform, and it's like there's no really good place to see anything.
So Julie said that she's confused about that. Will it open, or is it just open windows? But agreed, Julie. Either way, that is awesome.
Well, all they'd have to do is put windows.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so excited about that. That is such a big deal to me.
No, Mike. I'm just listen. I've been there. I've seen it, and I'm telling you, I just because there's so much.
He doesn't. He wants it to be on time, but he's skeptical.
We booked it already, Mike.
Yeah, we want it. Yeah, we're excited about it.
Just the water slides. They are manufacturing the water slides in sections somewhere else and shipping them to the ship to assemble them all. And the water slides are held up with some brand new system they never used before. If you knew what engineers are like, guys, like I do, then you would know why I'm.
So Mike said that he saw a picture and it looked like the Mardi Gras area open to the water. I'm so excited about that. If that is true.
Yeah, and I think that'd be really cool.
That is everything that I wanted.
There's people calling the icon. They're saying it looks like a giant cargo ship too. Yeah, it's like
I don't care what it looks like on the outside.
We won't know until they get done.
Yeah, it can look like a cargo ship on the outside.
All right,
I don't
so
care.
we did type of cruise, solo cruise. You can do a solo cruise on any cruise line, guys. It's just you're going to pay double occupancy, and people get pissed about that. And they say, "Oh, our battery's getting ready to go out."
What is it?
Yeah.
All right, we'll fix it.
I'm going to get prepared here. Let me see. I gotta get the dummy battery. Our video quality is getting ready to. I
want to see if they see the difference.
Oh, they're going to see the difference.
Okay.
Okay, see that?
Did you see the difference? Tell us what the difference is. Oh my God, it is. Although it blurs out my wrinkles.
It doesn't blur out nothing. Makes you look older. Okay, let me. I'm gonna try something here, guys. I know you can't see me. I know.
You look the best you've looked all night.
Yeah, you can hear me though. I know that. That thing is blinking over there.
Oh, it is.
Oh, it's on your side.
Oh.
Oh no, I can unplug this. Okay, go here. Nope, right here. And we go.
Hi.
That's a little better.
A little better,
That's still bad.
But do you guys see the difference?
Yeah, so I may have to use a dummy battery on that camera. So
yeah, I know you're on there, Mike, and we're really excited to sail with you again. And Will G said, all I know is that I won't get on it until the prices come down. Amen, my friend.
Yeah, well,
I hear you.
And I agree with you on that too. But we're all, anyone that booked that initial sailing knows we paid, way too much for it. You'll be able to cruise for probably 25 to 40%
And
less.
Tony G said the inaugural on the Icon is going to be like a Vlogger 2.0. Yes, it will. I can totally see that. Yeah. Absolutely.
There's other ones too. You got the John Held for Fun's Sake cruise on Carnival Horizon in February of 2024. There's gonna be a lot of vloggers on that one. And then the new to Carnival Costa ship, I think it's the Firenze. That's going to be in May, I think, of 2024. And we were contacted by cruise vlog friends. They're like, "You got to book it, man." I'm like, "Man, we got so much booked.
It's too close to everything else." Yeah.
Right now, we got a cruise in January, a cruise in February, a back-to-back in April. And then, they're wanting us to go on a cruise in May. Then we have a cruise in July with they have a Family Reunion Group Cruise 2 cruise. So we have a lot going on in 2024, and it's going to be hard to do. So
Julie said that they booked with the kids sell free, which helped tremendously. So we're not that far off from regular cruise, but prices are crazy at any other time right now. We want to get back on our boat, have to wait. I think a lot of us will, Julie. But, going back to everything that we've talked about tonight about, for a brand new person, how to book a cruise. There was
we're not.
I know, but I'm just saying that the biggest point that I try to make to people that I talk to about it is that, you have when, where, how you're traveling, the ship to consider, the length, the duration of the cruise, the ports that you're going to, on and on and on. The event that, is it a special occasion, on and on and on. We talked about a lot of stuff that goes into consideration when you are booking a cruise. So especially for first-time people, highly, highly recommend going through a travel agent.
Well, yeah, that's I didn't. Right. So you pick your cruise line. Once you pick your cruise line, then you need to look at your cruise ships. And we kind of touched base on that, but we didn't get into it. The newer the ship, the more expensive the cruise is going to be. But the more amenities, more new technology, gadgets, recreational things, there's going to be more activities on the newer ships. A lot of cool stuff. So you just have to weigh that and decide, okay, if it's just the two of you going and you're not going to be using water slides and you really don't care about, rock walls and zip lining and stuff like that, you don't need a ship that has all that. A good point a fellow vlogger made on TikTok this week was when sailing to Alaska, he was asked what was his recommendation for cruise line. He said his first pick would always be Princess for Alaska, or he said Celebrity would be great for Alaska. And he recommends going on one of their older, smaller ships because in Alaska, you're going to be spending more time. It's about the itinerary. It's about the ports. It's about what you're doing in Alaska. It's not about being on the ship.
Correct.
So you don't want to pay for all those amenities on a fancy brand new ship because you're not going to be using them depending on what type of cruise you're on. So more amenities, the more expensive it's going to be. So that's kind of how it works. And that's what's happening. The new ships are getting bigger and bigger. They have more bells and whistles, more things going on, and you pay for that. So you got to keep that in mind. So if it's an older ship, you're going to get a little better rate. So when you start looking at the prices and you're going, oh my gosh, $3,000. And then you can look and you say, well, that's on the Mardi Gras. But if we go on this cruise over here on the Magic, the same type of itinerary, it's going to be like $2,200. So it just depends on the age of the ship. That factors in a lot. And again, you can go on an 8-day cruise on an older ship for the price it would be to go on a 5-day ship on a newer ship.
Very true.
So that's one of the things. It's a cost saving thing. So you have to keep that in mind. That's why I was recommending earlier, go on one of the newer ships if you have kids. You have kids. When I say kids, I mean kids that are like between probably ages of 8 and like 15. They're going to be running all over the ship wanting to do stuff.
So, Monica, the excursions in Alaska are bananas expensive. Bananas.
really
They're so
expensive.
expensive.
$200 a person.
Oh yeah.
It's really super.
Every single one is, I mean, there's a couple that are $100 a person. Like there's a tour that you can do. And then there's other things that you can do that are like 100, 150 per person. But like the cool things to do, like whale watching or any kind of anything, you know, to do with nature, all like $200 or more per person.
Yeah.
So
great.
Tony, we are going on the Carnival Spirit. And we chose that because we are going with Carson and Peyton.
We picked the Freedom.
We did pick the Freedom, and then they switched
it
it to the Spirit. And the reason that we picked, if it were Eddie and I, we probably would have done Celebrity. But because the boys are with us, we need the guys' burgers. We need the option. Our boys can be picky eating.
Yeah.
A little bit. So we needed the guys' burgers. We needed the blue iguana. We needed the food options
the boys
that
have been
work best for them.
They were on 2 Carnival cruises last year, and they really like Carnival. They feel comfortable with Carnival. So, and we know that they're going to be able to, you know, find the food they want to eat.
Yeah.
So it works out really good. And they switched it up on us. We were on the Freedom, and then when when Australia came out and delayed reopening cruising, they took the Spirit from Australia and repositioned it to sailings for Alaska. So, and it originally was used for Alaska, or that was one of the itineraries the Spirit handled in the past.
So Will G said that his first Royal Cruise will be on the Jewel. He's not getting all the bells and whistles, but the itinerary is awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I think that in this day and age, you should be loyal to the deal that you can get.
Oh, you have to.
You have to be.
It's like the only reason we did Celebrity, guys, is we got a Black Friday deal.
Yes.
That was outstanding. We're able to sail Celebrity for like the price of what a Carnival costs, almost just a little more. I think like $200-300 more than what a Carnival cruise would have cost us. We got to go on Celebrity.
And Will G, Amanda wants to know what's your itinerary, because we want to know. We're nosy. Because it sounds awesome.
So now you get all these factors. You have an idea what you want to do. And we always recommend watching vlogs, of course.
Yes.
To do your research when you're researching all these different factors. You also have to factor in, here's a couple things we didn't mention, but you need to consider and you have to look at. Especially if you're going to be sailing during any like holiday week or spring break or any high vacation time. You have to find a hotel.
Yes.
That is near the cruise port or the airport or whatever method you want to do. You have to factor in the additional money you're going to need that you're not even thinking about, like Ubers to the cruise port, transportation to the cruise port, transportation from the cruise port to the airport or to back to where you need to be parked at or whatever. If you're flying, if you're driving, you got, obviously you're going to realize you got to pay for gas both ways and food both ways. The other thing, tips. You need cash.
Yes.
You need cash for tipping.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be tipping all the baggage handlers that handle your luggage at the cruise port. It's a good idea to tip those guys. Those guys do not work for the cruise line. They are employed and they work for the actual terminal. And tip those guys.
Tip them. Yep.
Your luggage will get on the ship for sure. Give them a nice tip, and they will handle your luggage carefully, and they will make sure your stuff gets on the ship.
Yep.
And again, some cruise lines you can actually, I think it's just Carnival.
Tony, I hear you on that, my friend.
You can tip on the receipts at Carnival for like your drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
But other cruise lines, you're gonna be tipping with cash, so it's a good idea to bring cash to tip. Your room steward, if you're gonna leave them cash, make sure you bring cash for that. Now they have ATM machines on these cruise lines, and they're usually charge like $6 for an ATM transaction. But then you're gonna get all big bills. You're gonna get 20s back. Pro tip: you can't go to casino to get change. The casino isn't open when it's in port, only when the ship is out in international waters. So be aware of that as well. And so a lot of people don't factor that in. So those little hidden costs. And if you don't get the drink package, even if you get the drink package, watch your account statement every single day.
Yes. When
you get on your cruise, find out how you do that on the app. Usually you can do it on the TV in the room, and make sure you're tracking all of your expenses. Because I can tell you one thing that can happen is someone can get a hold of your card, or charge drinks to your room somehow,
yes.
or any other kind of stuff they could charge to your room, if they can get access to your card. Your card, every expense on a cruise ship is charged to your room through your room key card. And you want to make sure nothing's happened. There's been nightmare stories where people get to the end of the week and they see they got all these drinks and bottles of wine and stuff they did not purchase that are on their room. And now
and Billy and Betty 2 doors down are like, cheers, thanks, suckers.
Yeah, and you're sitting there like, wow. I heard a story where the people went to the room, their keys weren't there. They went out to guest services, got their keys. Like day 3 or 4, they checked their account balance. Someone stole their keys, their key cards. And when they give them new keys, they didn't give them different. They give them the same keys.
You know, here's what irritates me about that. Because when the whole purpose of getting your picture taken when you're checking in the terminal is for them to put your face to your card. So that when they put your card in, your face pops up.
Well, that's only when they're checking you on and off the ship.
I mean, no, when they're using your card for your drinks.
It should, but it
does.
It doesn't?
Yeah. That's how they knew. We found out. No, we weren't doing nothing, but we found out our cards got mixed up, and they were like, "Wait, this isn't you." And we're like, "Oh crap, wrong card." Thing. So they're supposed to pay attention to the face.
Yeah, but it's easy. It's not difficult to get scammed. That's what I'm telling you. It can happen anywhere. So just make sure you check your account balance, but be aware that there are charges that can happen. You have kids with you, they go in that casino and they can charge all their casino play to their card
oh my God, Will G. That is, it starts in San Juan, goes to Bridgetown, Barbados, Port of Spain, Trinidad, Scarborough, Tobago, St. Lucia, and St. Martin.
That's awesome.
That is a hell of an itinerary, my friend. Congratulations. And yes, Monica, your picture is supposed to show up. That's supposed to protect you from people being able to steal your card, right? So anyway, we've been on here for an hour.
I never paid attention to any pictures showing up. It depends on what bar you're using in, because this is not unusual. It happens. So that's why you need to track your balance all the time.
So pay attention. Yeah, you can notice right away.
When you go to get off the ship and you have an outstanding balance, they're going to stop you.
Yes.
And they're going to make you go to the customer service desk.
Yes.
And you're going to be in a long line of people trying to square up what they
square it up on a daily basis versus waiting to the end. It'll be just easier.
And, with drinking and stuff, sometimes people get drinking and spend more money than they realize they did. They'll do it in the casino, all kinds of stuff. But just be aware of that and factor all those little things into your budget. So that's the pro tip.
So
now, but when you're ready to book, we do recommend booking with the travel agent.
Yes, because we talked about a lot of stuff, and it's
but these are things you should do before you even talk to a travel agent.
Yeah.
So you're going to go on a cruise that you researched that is going to fit your life. It's going to fit your timing. It's going to work for you. And then the cruise, the travel agent can help fine tune it, make more suggestions to you. They might tell you, hey, this is a bad time of year to go on this, or hey, if you move it 2 weeks this way or that way, you can save yourself $500, or you'll get more on board credit if you do this and that. And what a travel agent will do once they book your cruise, they will track any prices, any changes, any policy changes, anything that will happen to your cruise. They'll monitor that for you, so you don't have to do that. So that's one of the best things about having a travel agent. Now, you can go to a travel agent and say, I want to go on a cruise. I don't know where I want to go, but I want to go. And then let them, talk you through the whole process.
Yeah, but you have to know, what you need to know ahead of time, at least what your budget is, when you want to go, and, have an idea of, the reason. Are you going on cruise just for a vacation? Is it an event? What is it?
And here's another thing. We mentioned that we sometimes do these in different orders. Okay, so, for instance, I think a really good thing for a brand new cruiser to do is to go on a group cruise with friends.
Yes.
Like people they know. That way, when they book the cruise, this cruise has all been researched. That it's got a good price. It's got a really good itinerary. You're going to be with people that are experienced, that can guide you. You're going to be, when you get in these foreign countries, you're going to be with experience. If you choose to be, you can be with experienced cruisers with you that are taking you to the ports they've been to before, that will not lead you wrong, that will help make your cruise even better. So doing a group cruise is always a good idea.
And
because
speaking
of, we do have a group cruise.
We do have one.
Yes.
Have you heard about the Tropic Like It's Hot Group Cruise, which is January 26th, 2025, to my favorite ports of call, Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Honduras, on Harmony of the Seas, Royal Caribbean, one of my very favorite ships, and it is going to be off the hook.
Out of Galveston, Texas, which is really
Yes.
cool. So if you guys never been to Buc-ee's, we are going to try to get a block of rooms at the Spring Hill Suites right next to Buc-ee's in Texas City. It's a decent, it's not too long of a ride from the airport if you fly into Houston Hobby to the hotel, and from the hotel to the cruise port. We took an Uber both ways. It wasn't like super expensive. Everything worked out really well.
It is a great port, a great itinerary, a great cruise line, a great ship, great company. And if you're interested, contact Amanda at Have Luggage Will Travel. She will give you all the details on it, or shoot us a message.
Or just drop a comment and on the live, or just hit us up through our other social media platforms. Then the other thing I was just going to say, if it's a group cruise and we're booking a group cruise, we just do it. Everything else is like, we immediately check airfare, see how much it's going to cost. Then we try to find a hotel, especially a group cruise. You got to make sure you book a hotel soon, because there's going to be a lot of people going there.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times group cruises, they will make deals with different hotels that give you a group rate. You got that. The other thing, sometimes we book cruises based on the actual ship, like an inaugural sailing, the Carnival Celebration. We booked that because it was inaugural sailing. It happened to be during Thanksgiving week, which we like to cruise for Thanksgiving week, and it worked out well. But it didn't matter. It was out of Miami. It didn't matter, really what time of year it was. We wanted to do inaugural sailing. Icon of the Seas we're talking about in this live stream. It's January 27th, 2024. We're all booked on that. Everybody we know is booked on that one. And we picked it because it's, inaugural sailing, brand new ship. So
if you are interested in joining us, Amanda is booking at haveluggagewilltravel.com, HLWtravel.com. We would love to have you. It's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be awesome.
But thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I would have kept going. I should have let it go.